on, guys? Welcome back to the Uncommon Line podcast, Pushing the Line series with Triarc Systems. We're back at Texas Gun Experience for our first Pushing the Line of 2022. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the first one. Yeah. I didn't even realize that till just now. So it's episode 45, one of the several Pushing the Lines we've done. And what we're going to try to do today is we're going to cover a couple things. We're going to update some people on Triarc. We're specifically going to talk about the Not So Shot Show, post-shot show. Chris just got back from there. We weren't as lucky to be able to go, but Chris is going to kind of bring us up to speed on some stuff and cover some of the SHOT Show. Obviously, today's episode is brought to you by Triarc Systems. Make sure you check them out. I always forget to give out our code. I don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
USCL. Hit them up. Triarc Systems. Hit us up. They've got some awesome stuff in the works, which I'm sure Chris is going to talk about here shortly, or you'll see on some of the page. A couple questions I have.
All the questions.
All the questions. And getting ready for Pushing the Line 2022. We've got some stuff we've been talking about. We're going to hash out some things, get some different guests on here.
A little traveling.
Yeah. We definitely want to do some traveling and cover some different stuff this year, kind of do things a little bit different and do some different stuff for specifically Pushing the Line, which is like this sub-podcast within the podcast. So
cool.
So, so thank you to Texas Gun Experience for letting us borrow the location again. I love this place. Y'all's, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but decked out. They can't even keep y'all's product here in the shop. They just sell. It's pretty much sold ahead of time.
It's like half the stuff doesn't make it to the floor.
Which is good.
Yeah, it's really good. I just wish we could make more.
Yeah. So as I'm carrying my OZ9, I switched it up today. So nice. OZ9, both chrome. So now I got the 2011 chrome. So she's shooting great and doing great. So
that's my second favorite guns. OZ. That's what I carry too.
What's your first?
Try 11, man.
Mark 23. All guns.
Okay.
Any handgun ever made. Your favorite handgun ever made.
Okay, exclude Triarc because
exclude Triarc. Okay. Yeah.
Man, I see all this stuff and people are just gonna. They're gonna hate, man.
So what is it?
Man, I love those older Colt revolvers, man.
Yeah,
like
the Colt
Pythons and the old Python, not this whatever they got going
not
on
the
here.
new one, not the new Python.
This imposter.
Yeah, it's fake.
They clone their own clone. No gun.
Yeah, dude, I don't even. To me, I mean, honestly, you can feel the difference. Yeah. Like it looks cool. Like, I mean, it looks, but there's nothing like an old school. So at Shields in the Colony, Texas here, they've got the entire, I forget, like it's $144,000 to buy the entire lineup, original runs of serial numbers.
Oh, wow.
New.
Yeah.
And I forgot it's the full Monty, I think is like what it is.
Yeah.
So play on the Monty Python, but it's a nice gun.
It's a nice gun, yeah. Those little Cobras, those small things. I mean, they're beautiful guns. They're fun to shoot.
So will we ever have a Triarc revolver?
Oh, no way, man. I'm not an expert. Like I said, it depends on if we hire on an expert that we can maintain a program, then of course.
Well, we'll see to make that happen. So, all right. So we've obviously got as far as the show goes, we got other stuff we're going to announce. We got a new sponsor that's coming on. You actually know who they are, and we'll aware. Cool. We'll be announcing them coming up soon. But obviously today you got back from SHOT Show. It's obviously this is the first one since COVID. So it was a lot of hoopla, so to speak, about it. A lot of companies, and to be honest, I kind of liked it. I like the fact that a lot of companies were like, no, we're not showing up. And y'all didn't do a booth, so to speak. You went because they're representing the company with other companies. Yeah. But I mean, there were some big names. Colt didn't have their booth.
Yeah.
There was a bunch. I mean, Core Performance didn't have their booth.
Yeah.
And I mean, much bigger names.
Yeah, Sig.
Sig.
Farland,
yeah.
Beretta. Yeah.
So with that being said, was it the mask mandates? Was it all of that? Or was it just, hey, we're not doing SHOT Show?
Was
there any talk about it there?
Yeah, it all comes down to rumors, honestly. And I can understand some of the companies that are based in Europe. The restrictions are different from ours. So I guess they weren't going to assume the liability. I mean, there's so many different things we've heard, but unless those companies are going to have to give out their own statements on reason why if they feel.
We want Triarc to speak on their behalf. So
okay, so simply because, and also too, that first year went out. I'm imagining a lot of companies saved a lot of money not going. I mean, they still made money. This one was kind of interesting because I was hesitant to go too because obviously we have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, because you had told me you weren't going.
Yeah, I did. But I changed my mind last minute.
Yeah, last minute.
I'm crazy like that, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like I bought my ticket the day before.
Yes.
But yeah, it was interesting to see. Honestly, I kind of liked it because there was less people there.
That's what everybody's saying.
And I got a lot done. And to be honest with you, it was just more. I was very business focused oriented because I got the chance to do more things, and plus being there representing the company. Some of the other companies had our products in their booths. So shout out to Acufire, Unity, and also shout out to Acton Black, the night vision company. They had our Cerakote samples in there, and then also too they were playing a pretty nice promo video with all our stuff in there too. So it's just cool working with companies like that. But I wanted to ensure that we can go down, sit down, and plan stuff for the future of this year. Yeah.
By the way, that collab was legit.
Yeah, that was.
There's a lot of legit collabs lately, but that one was just sick.
Those tubes. I didn't get to see all the different colors because they were kind of Chris got them knocked out pretty quick. But when I went in there, I saw the booth and they had the set of Ranger Green nods. I mean, it looked nice too. So,
yeah, it looked really awesome. I was very jealous.
Well, it's a good event for that company to lay out all the colors and see what people think.
Yeah.
And they kind of make once they decide to do something else again, they can know in what colors are going to work for them.
Yeah, they just need to drop the price point down to about $2,000 for like us losers. It's not running a monocle PVS 14.
Hey, bro, it gets the job done.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, something that was interesting to me was the aspect of it. This seemed, and I'm not going to call you all a small company, but the boutique brands, it seemed as if like this was good for them.
Yes.
Like a lot of the bigger names weren't there that are just
tying up a lot of time.
Up a lot of time and resources, and it feels like everybody's got these obligations to these big name brands. It was a time for these smaller companies, quote unquote, to shine and really, we saw, y'all's product in booths. We saw a lot from Spiritus. We saw a bunch of different brands that it seemed like they were kind of, Acufire, they had an amazing booth.
Yeah.
Were really flourished having that essentially less people, so to speak.
Yeah, and we got to use those allocated funds also to participate in some bigger events than we did in the past, and that was good. That was amazing. I mean, a lot of that money goes to those events. Also, some of it gets donated to some of the causes that were part of that event, as far as the charities that are part of that event.
Do you see SHOT Show continuing?
I mean, it's not going to. I don't think it'll ever go away. But I think it's a hard look right now to see if some companies can do something different. I mean, less people. It needs a change. I mean, to be honest with you, every time you go, it's the same thing. It's jam packed. You see stuff which is awesome, but a lot.
Do you really see stuff? Well, I mean, so many people. Because a lot of people to talk about the first time they go, they're just overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the case necessarily this year. Everybody's, I was able to take my time. There was more time on the floor. It wasn't as crowded. And to me, I think if companies look at how beneficial that is, now it's just a matter of what's the name of the company that does SHOT Show?
Which one that runs it?
Yeah.
NSSF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hope they see that and don't just look at the figure and the money and go,
exactly.
What was the benefits of this year? How can we bring that about next year? Because if everybody's back next year, I think you go back to what it was, right?
Yeah.
Chaos.
Exactly. And it was kind of like you've seen SHOT Show throughout the years. I think this is my 10th year going, 10th I'm going. You see it throughout the year. And I mean, in my opinion, they need a change. They need to adapt because you can't just make it bigger. And I think it was like a couple of years ago, they started that next thing with like a 4th level and you buy like a table, literally a table to put your stuff on. And I think it's just kind of, you're just buying a table and how do you get people to go up there?
Yeah.
And I know some companies started like that, which is awesome. And it's good to see them now in bigger booths, which is even great. But it was always hard to get booth space. It's always hard to get, and I just remember this in the past. And now they opened up that expansion at Caesars, which was easy to get to. There's literally just a door from one main room that went to a bridge, and then you go to the other main room. And that other portion that they opened up for the first year, awesome. I mean, very nice, very spaced. All the booths are spaced out very nice, so it wasn't crowded. So you get to talk to people and not be drowned out by the voice of everybody else. So
because you could even tell within interviews that was taking place, like you could comprehend them.
Yeah.
Like for example, I was watching JJ Racaza was giving an instruction tutorial at one of the booths, and you could actually hear him. The other years, you're just like, okay, I cannot understand what he's saying, but he's just yelling.
Yeah.
I just really think that they need to take a closer look and see, because we talked about changing the community, right?
Yeah.
And, a play on, pushing the line and the uncommonness of like changing the culture within the industry, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's about time they see how important, brands like yourself, how important they are to the industry and changing the industry versus the Smith & Wessons and these larger companies that, they've got the budget for it, but I mean, where are they going?
Yeah. And that's the one thing too. It's like sometimes with the bigger stuff, it's just less genuine. And, I get it. Some of these big companies, they have these, I guess that corporate attitude where they can't be so personable or interact with it. There's like no personal interaction. I guess you can interact with a dealer or distributor that's going to come by, I guess, from bigger companies, but for the consumer, I feel like the interaction is very minimal. Right. And then you could just stand in line, wait for a gun, but nobody's going to really talk to you because there's so many people there. And they're always going to take they're always, they're going to look at the badge and see who's a priority to talk to and stuff like that. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing because they only have a limited amount of time, but I think bringing it back to where it's more personal would be amazing.
And you can see, I'm going to keep using, how do you describe it differently, but smaller companies. I mean, like I look at Unity as a smaller company, and I'm thinking versus Unity versus Smith & Wesson, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Unity versus, these companies that are 100 years old, so to speak. So when I say small business, I'm not talking like small business like brick and mortar, we're saying.
But there's a drastic difference between the two. And companies like that they're doing big things. That's the crazy thing.
Exactly, but they're able to maintain.
Yes.
Like, for example, dude, Mod Lights. So, and this is not I run Mod Lights on duty.
Yeah.
I had an issue with my light on duty the other day. I was pressing the switch. It wasn't activating. I'm like, what the heck is this battery? And then it was just shorting out. I sent him an email and totally knowing that all of Mod Light is at SHOT Show.
Yeah.
Did not think I was going to get in it. I got an answer back. While they're at SHOT Show, and I responded back and I got the generic email, hey, we're at SHOT Show, but they took the time to still answer that. I think companies like Unity, like yourself, companies that are, in this realm, Mod Light, if they can maintain this personal relationship within the industry and have a way to keep this and have that feel, even at an event like SHOT Show, I think they flourish much bigger than some of these other companies that have been around. And if SHOT Show and NSF, whatever, which sounds like the abbreviation for the National Porn Convention. I don't even know what else do you call it.
NSSF.
NSSF, whatever. Yeah. It also reminds me of what's that old band, that old punk band?
Oh man, I think it's like no
MXW.
No, MXPX.
MXPX. Yeah. So that's
like
what
no
it always.
effects.
Yeah. But if they can maintain that, I think we see benefits within the industry, which we need to get back to, right? Because at the end of the day, it's all about relationship, and
Yeah, and the personal action is the best. I got to have more personal action than I've done at other times, and I was running around everywhere and to go hang out in some of these booths. I had a product in there, and also, but I got to link up with some of our distributors, which is amazing, and I had actual time to hang out and catch up on stuff, talk some business, and what do they expect from us this year? What do they want to see? Also, some of the rifles had a rail on there, so a lot of people, when they asked us, hey, it's that booth there, and got to talk to people about it.
Yeah, because y'all had the new rail out there, right, on that SPR.
We had an SPR, and we had several other guns, too.
Where was that SPR at again?
It was at Accufire. Had their new thermal on there.
And that was the OD. Yeah. That was the OD green, too, right?
No, we had the black one, but we also had, like, the Grendel out there, and we had we had some other rifles. It looked good.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
It's good.
Yeah, man, I just really think that I hope that, every company and even MXW or whatever will take a look at this and think, okay, cool. Like, I think this is beneficial, because in the years past, we've heard nothing but everybody coming back from SHOT Show going, fuck SHOT Show. But everybody thinks it's this necessity, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to do it in order to be successful. And now you're having the same guys are like, we actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was just different. It was a lot. Yes, it was fast paced for people in your position having to do, maintain a business, but it was much more enjoyable for everybody on both sides because they were able to spend the time.
Yeah. And it wasn't, it's kind of funny because, every year when you turn that corner and you see that big in the morning, the first day, that herd of people, I mean, it's just massive. And it wasn't that bad. Like, you could still see, like, there's openness in it. And I was like, all right, awesome. So,
oh, look, we have another track here.
Oh, yeah.
Are we bringing some toys in here?
Yeah, you can, but I told me to hang out and check. That's John.
Yeah. What's
He's
up, John?
He's building Tri-11s all morning.
What's up, dude?
What you got in the bag?
Feel free to take a seat. Yeah, what do you got in the bag? Oh, cool.
Oh,
He just carries around in a bag, all professional
he
briefcase.
does.
Yeah.
He's got his favorites.
John Wick, no pun intended.
Just have a seat, bro.
Sit back and relax, dude. No, dude, I think I really think there's something there. It was kind of like when we did what was the event here?
The Total Recon.
Total Recon, pros and cons to it, right? It was a growing thing, growing experience, I think, or however you would say it.
Yeah.
But I think there's something to take away from events like that, and just on a smaller scale, looking at SHOT Show versus that, and looking at the benefits of those, of just being able to have time with individuals on a more personal level. Because let's face it, nowadays in social media and what it is, there's the Triarc guys. That's a thing, right? Like it's a meeting somebody famous, so to speak, and so people feel invested when you take the time to do that. But you can't do that if you've got 10,000 people on a floor right at one booth.
No, you can't. And that's the great thing, because I did get to meet a lot of people, and it was good to shake hands with those customers. I'm very grateful for our customers who buy stuff from. I mean, like I said, it's just they put the trust into us, so it's good for me to like shake their hand, give them a card, and And also too, one thing is like all the restaurants weren't crowded. You can't sit there and like say you want to sit down and buy somebody a drink, I was able to do it.
What's your favorite restaurant in Vegas?
Oh man, I have like a bunch, dude. But I don't know, man.
Chili's, I know.
I found this taco place off strip, and I even just left the show to go grab tacos there.
Really?
And ate there, and then brought some more back. So that was kind of like the best right now, because I was.
It was not OMG Tacos.
Huh?
Vegas.
I wish.
Yeah.
It needs to be. Maybe. Calvin. Do it.
That would take off there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But see, and just getting away have the time to get away and do that real quick, or take somebody off lunch, because all those restaurants, it is. All those restaurants in that area, everything is packed, especially with tons of people there. So you never even get time to get up a bite to eat, and you're probably paying like, $18 a sandwich. It's just, it's crazy, man. Yeah. So I think that some of that whole thing of the overcrowdedness was good. I got to interact with a lot of people, more quality interactions, and got a lot of work done, and then had time to go to events. So yeah, it was good.
Cool. All right. So name some of the coolest items you saw coming out for 2022 besides your products?
Actually, Accuffire's new thermal sight they got going on. It's upgraded from the previous one they got. I mean, the thing's amazing.
Really?
It blew me away. And they got this small digital spotting scope. I can't remember. It's like,
I think that's the one I saw where they had the phone, right? It goes to the phone.
Yeah.
On the back?
You can. Yeah. Well, you don't have to put your phone back, but you can Bluetooth it to your phone or iPad. And the digital zoom's amazing. I mean, the amount of focus and clarity you get out. So if you're just gonna shoot and spot, you can do that. Zoom up on the target and just look at your phone and check your accuracy, and instead of to move your body position. So little things that was pretty amazing. And didn't have a lot of time. You could see some of the other stuff. As far as B&T had a new QD attachment for their suppressor, which is pretty awesome.
I'm getting my hands on one of their new PCWs. They're sending me to try out T&E for.
Nice, good.
They posted something. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I'm not a PCW fan, but they posted. I was like, that's a good. And it was like all controls are AR-15 controls. I forget what model it is. They just came out, and it's LE specific. So I'll be interested to see. They got some pretty cool stuff in the works.
Yeah, like I said, those a lot of good companies. It's just like, especially this stuff with OSS. Well, now they're not. They're the Huxworks
so explain
company.
That. So what is it now?
So it's Huxworks.
Huxworks.
Yes, but it's an abbreviation. It's like the human like immersion. Let's see. It's more of a directed towards a safety company, right? And they're kind of changing and switching, and it's good like that when they switch gears and do. And I'll kind of get a little bit more detailed into that, but it's like it's a human exposure workshop is kind of what it stands for. And human exposure is one of those things where, safety equipment. So as humans, as we do everything, we're exposed to all kinds of different dangers and hazards, obviously. And that's why we wear iPro, we wear AirPro, and then also, what do we tell people all the time with suppressors? What are the benefits of using suppressors in duty form or military form?
I don't need hearing.
It reduces hearing. Yeah. So, but if you think about it,
if only the federal government would understand this.
I know, right? But even shooters too. Here, it's like one of those things where yeah, guns are loud, but it is a safety device. I mean, essentially, there's suppresses sound, so you run or it reduces concussive blast, so it lessens the risks of you exposing yourself to blowing out eardrums, or other traditional suppressors.
People that question it and never shot a 10.5 or an 8.3 down a hallway of a hotel, right, buttoned up against 3 other dudes, or and especially in close quarter. I mean, there is benefits to it.
Yeah.
And how many guys we know that they've been shooting, on a SWAT team 5-10 years, and they're having to buy $10,000 hearing aids because they've been exposed to it, and they were ear pro.
Yeah.
But the overpressure is still
the overpressure, because that all that sound, everything, vibration travels through your
in a vehicle. Face, bones, in a CQB. I mean, in a vehicle CQB situation. So that's a good idea that they're putting it more towards the safety aspect of it, because so many people look at it as a tactical, what looks cool.
Exactly, and the people don't realize the overpressure, because obviously if you're shooting inside a vehicle, confined spaces, when you get the back pressure out of some cans that are guns that are not balanced out right, will back pressure towards the face, but then even all the gunpowder residue from the concussive blast, everything, you're breathing all that in an enclosed environment.
Yeah.
So, and they have a lot more products coming out that are geared more towards safety, but they did an amazing job as far as the direction of taking the company, because it's always interesting when a company does make changes like that or change a name. Everything, the individuals who are in charge of that are running it. I'm always curious, because I'm like, I wonder why, because it's a big move to make. And consumers can sit there and go crazy and throw their opinions all they want, especially on social media. They can see all that stuff, but for the most part, there's reasons behind it. And having a rebranding to that name that is also a mission, right? And so they're trying to.
How old is OSS now? Sub 10 years, right?
I can't really say, because that company's changed a lot of times, the designs and everything. They came out with something pretty innovation, but it took time to kind of redesign and make better and better, to where now they're on military government contracts because of the benefits of the can, and things are changing too, because a lot of suppressors have to go the route of no back pressure, because as when it comes to safety now people are trying to find out, like, hey, lead exposure is bad.
Yeah. Well, why after a day of shooting does it taste like I licked the spoon?
Yeah. So people just don't realize, and that's why people don't realize that people work at gun ranges, they have to get their lead levels checked periodically per SOP of the company, because it's exposure to it, and now that's going to be happening to military and some certain units. So
there's I forget, there was a supplement company that had a really good lead reducer drink or something. I forget who it was. I don't know. It's a white bottle. It's a company we follow, but it was really cool because they put the study with the supplement.
Yeah.
And the amount of exposure you have just in a day of, like, for example, on a closed range, like how much exposure you have. I don't care if it's vented or not. Yeah. You still have that, and you don't realize that lead maintains in your body.
Yeah.
And there's only certain ways to purge that lead. So imagine dudes that are completely exposed to it all the time. And especially our military,
running shoot houses over and over again, not cleaning your hands in between.
Yeah,
eating.
It's exactly like I don't know how often, like, when I was dipping, God rest his soul, I miss you dearly, but how often I'd be at the range and just putting in a pinch while I'm cleaning my gun, and you're like, man, why does this taste like, hey,
bro. It's
love.
Real, man. It's
love.
Real. It's real, dude.
It's real. It's real.
It's real, dude. Always thinks of me with, like, the mechanic that just working on a car and then grabs a sandwich with white bread and there's like oil on it. That's what I think about it now. John does that over there. See.
There's a lot of people. Y'all do. Yeah, y'all all do that over there. Tacos are brought in and everybody's just grabbing, cleaning.
I got de-leading wipes there, and I got de-leading soap in the bathrooms. So everybody needs to use that stuff, because I don't want to get caught up in that.
No, that's good. Yeah. So OSS was rebranding, and it's now Huxworth. So that's interesting to see a company like that do that. But continue what you were saying, as far as, like, it's not, sometimes people think rebranding is just, well, we're failing and we have to recapture people. No, that's not always the case.
That is,
because they weren't failing. I mean, they were moving.
Failing. Yeah, they're moving pretty good, but it's more of rebrand in the sense of they're going to change the direction of the products they make, because they're not just going to make suppressors. They're also going to have plans for other products that are more relative towards safety.
That's good. That's good. So what else did you see there? That anything else that stuck out to you that you're excited about for 2022?
Okay. So one cool thing is at the EOTech booth, they got like a short goggle.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So they're coming out with their own line of obviously dual tubes and goggles.
So did you look through them?
Yes, dude. They're freaking. It's like
Feel free to be honest.
here's my thing. Here's my takeaway. I mean, they're awesome. They're lightweight. They take a battery pack, everything. But you know, with some of the stuff like when you shorten the stuff, I mean, you're not going to get like that crazy clear like.
Yeah.
You know,
How do you have a high foam if you have such a short?
Yeah, but it's still good though. It still works good. But you know, you got those people out there, foam chasers, or just like, dude, I can't.
Yeah, and I shouldn't have proposed it like that. But when you start shortening something and you're not allowing,
there's always
that
a give and take. Yeah, there's always a give and take.
Yeah.
Yes. So, but
were you surprised?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
definitely. So dude, they're in the weight, everything. They're cool, man. But it's good to see something like that. You know, companies like that put out their stuff and get a feel for it because they have other stuff, clip-ons. I didn't, get check out. They got their new 1 to 10, looks really good. But just like
because they did a new 1 to 10 in the Voodoo, right?
Yeah, 34 millimeter too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and let's see, man. Well, not though. You walk by, shake hands, people, they show you something new, but I didn't retain a lot of information. I was all over the place, so to say. It's just like these booths.
I mean, you went to bed early every night.
Yeah, I went to bed
late every night.
The only thing is like no matter what time you go to bed, you have to get up early. That's just if you're working the show, you have to get up early. So that's the hard part about it because
I love watching the videos day one. Everybody's all excited. By Thursday, everybody looks like shit.
Dude,
everybody looks like
tired.
they've aged like 20 years.
Yeah.
So
everybody's tired.
Yeah.
Super tired.
But I will say, like, you could definitely tell a perspective difference from everybody's opinions coming back.
Yeah.
It just seemed, and maybe it's just the amount of people. I don't know. I just really think that as a culture and as a community, we need to take closer looks at events like this and go, hey, okay, how can we change this for the better?
Yeah.
So
it should be, because this was actually, it was an improvement. And even having that one space too, the extra space, that was nice because everything was really spread out, and I like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All
right. So now moving on to Triarc for 2022. So you've obviously had some stuff we've been talking about, obviously been posting, resharing. I mean, you had the SPR video that came out, awesome build. You have the Grindle that came out or coming out. None of these are out yet, right?
The SPR is going to be coming out soon. The Grindles, we released the barrels, but not the complete rifles yet. And that's coming soon.
Okay. So what else for 2022?
Working on projects, brother. The handguard is going to be finalized this year.
Yeah.
Estimated timeline to have that as a individual product to ship to consumers as a standalone item. Obviously, rails that come off the line are going to be more priority towards production, but we're looking at May to have that as an accessory for people to buy to put on whatever they want to put on.
And the benefit too, not only is it a more secure hand. I mean, I love the whole thing together. I mean, the whole rail itself is awesome. But what a lot of people don't understand, and y'all have a new manufacturer that's manufacturing these.
Yeah, we're teamed up with another partner here inside DFW that has that capability to do the volume that we need.
Yeah, a much higher volume, so therefore lead time should go down because of that. Yeah.
And they're local, so I can just drive and pick them up.
Yeah, because and I'm look. Chris would never call these people out. I will call these people out, like essentially, individuals that don't have enough knowledge to read for 2 seconds and go, well, they're creating another handrail. What about all the other projects that are going on? How are you going to get lead? Okay, people, you understand by going and having this handrail made by this company that's here in DFW, it's going to lower lead times. So it's positive for everybody, right? Not only is it more innovation as far as the rail goes, but now it's lowering lead times. So when you start posting something like that, think before you speak in regards to
that's the thing. It's everything is on the surface, and people. It's so easy to see what's on that first layer and just go with the emotional response because it's like the initial first layer. But there's so many layers of things, and just like I said, doing the rail was a project we had to do because when we look at our lead times, we look at supply chains, everything else like this. We just don't, as a company, don't ever want to get in this position again. So I think securing our own manufacturing is, while we're in this time frame, is we have to do both.
Yeah.
I can't sit there and do one or the other. It has to be done at the same time. And hey, we have a dedicated set of employees that are just production. I don't pull them off for nothing. But when it comes to project management, I'm taking lead on it personally. So I get no sleep. I don't care
because
really because here's why. Because it's the excitement of I mean, I like seeing stuff go out the door. It's awesome, but it's also the excitement of seeing all these ideas and all these people who work to help with these ideas come to life. It's just nothing like seeing something from a print to actually it's in your hand. It's a pretty good
and a lot of people, and this is what blows my mind about the internet, and it really doesn't nothing blows my mind anymore.
Yeah.
Not only from just being a cop, but just a human nowadays. But these people that go, oh, you know, like for example, let's use a tack hunt fish drop. People don't understand that's been in the making for a while.
Yeah.
I think people think that you just go, okay, on a Monday, all right, tack hunt fish drop on Tuesday. Everybody else stop builds, and we're going to build tack. It's not the case. No, it's not even a viable argument.
Yeah.
It's stupid. And then when people get on there and in mommy and daddy's basement and start ranting and raving about this and go, well, hey, how come you? Okay, read first and think about what you're saying.
Yeah.
So when people start ranting about the new rail, what I don't understand, and not even people, specific individuals, and don't look at it and go, cool. Hey, look, the company's making a decision overall for everybody.
Yeah.
For the consumer, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's just a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah. You're always,
and I can't imagine, dude. You're a better person than me.
Well, here's the thing. It's always like an uphill battle to fight that. And I'm always constantly thinking, like, what's a proper way to do it? Because I'm not going to sit there and get in arguments. We like to educate people as much as we can.
I do think you need to hire somebody just for arguments. Yeah. Dude,
yeah. You know what? Let's see. Let's just say someone to distribute information in those situations.
Like a psyops of Triarc,
Yeah.
It's like dropping leaflets on the dude's front lawn.
It's kind of funny because it's like no direct question us and you want to put the statement out there. Hey, it's fine. Like I said, it's on the surface. It's just like we did that collab with, actually Zev and Warm Fuzzy have a collab, the Recent Rifle.
Zev and Warm and Fuzzy, and
Zev
y'all as well.
Well,
but everybody freaked out thinking it was Triarc rifles.
No, we got tasked on the side of, and that's why I put collab in there. And people understand, like, I can't sit there and go into a paragraph detail about a post anymore because we get hit all the time.
But
for
dude,
too many guidelines.
You need first off, you shouldn't have to, because people should read and go, okay, so it's a Zev rifle, Warm and Fuzzy logo, and y'all are helping out with Cerakote.
Yeah.
Everybody thought it was a Triarc rifle, and and
the thing about that is that all those things were done in batches over a month's period of time. And so we were just shipping those things in batches, and they've had this thing planned for a long time.
No, bro, you did this on a Monday, and it was dropped on a Tuesday.
I said, we're going to stop everything and just handle their stuff.
Bro, I brought this up at the shop the other day. It was Police posted something, and he posted on there about a couple weeks ago, and it said, I fully support vacation or the mandatory vacations. And then went in about the vaccinations. Yeah. And everybody, there were a bunch of people that were like, well, we're not going to follow this page because you support mandatory vaccinations. And like all of us are like, you're a dumbass. It says vacations, and he got you. Because people don't even take the second to read the first line and have common sense to go, okay, he's joking with us.
So it makes me wonder, like, why are we so wound up tight, man? That's my whole thing. Is like, why?
So, hey, bro, sometimes you wake up and choose violence.
I guess so. Sometimes I wake up and just mad at everything. Someone take it on something else.
I will gladly be your shot caller, man, of like chasing down these dudes and picking the petty fight of like, dude, read.
Yeah. Anyways. Well, now we're doing we're more proactive now. So now we're going to do these email updates rather than obviously social media, but because we have a lot of customers that are not on social media. So now we're going to do these email updates where we email them with lead times. What the situation is and what are some options, right?
Yeah, because y'all just put one out the other day.
We did.
It was great, very informative. I just really hope people read it.
A lot of people did.
Yeah,
so a lot of people did, and we got good feedback from that because we offered people to be part of the program to T&E the new production prototypes, and they're like, hell yeah, we want to try it. See, and now that's going to make their process time faster because we went down and said, here's the lead times for these type of weapons. When it comes to different barrel lengths, it's caught up and this is the lead time. This barrel length is caught up and this is the lead time. And people don't know. I'll tell you what right now, the 13-inch rail right now has been the one single-handed biggest problem I've ever experienced in the face of a firearms company. It's so crazy
to me that is the link.
That is the link.
That gives y'all that much hell.
It is. And it's I could have hundreds of bins built out of a gun, back orders that I cannot ship because I'm waiting on a rail. And this is why
that size rail. I mean, just the demand alone.
Well, it's because of the barrel length, right? So you buy a 1339, or you do a 12.5. Well, that's the handguard that's preferred with it. It closes the gap to get the longest length. Yeah. I get it. And so for us, this is why we had to go. The first rail coming off that line is going to be 13-inch. This is why we had to make our own rail, because if this is the one thing that's keeping us, well, then we're going to do it.
Nip it in the bud.
Yeah, we got it, because the from the previous vendor, the vendor was still getting them from. They have their supply chain issues too, which they keep us updated. But sometimes stuff happens and it gets pushed back, and we got to then it gets cycled down. So now with the email updates, we reach more of our customers and audience, because that letter is going directly to customers who have been waiting, and plus other people that are interested into purchasing. To where, hey, you get an email to us and you can call us at any time.
Yeah. And I also want to address something. Any of the guns you see us post, like any one of my Triarcs that I own.
Yeah.
I think the OZ9 was the only quick one that I got, only because it was surplused and we kind of put together parts, right?
Yeah.
And we were trying to push out.
Yeah, it was already built demo gun. Yeah.
We were already wanting to show people what was coming. I had to wait for my Tri-11 for.
Yeah, just like everybody else.
I mean, yeah. My rifles, the same.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks that like we just walk in there and we're just handed guns as part of being that's not the case.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want it that way, because it already drives me nuts that people assume that.
Yeah.
But I also wouldn't want to force, perfection.
Yeah. Well, that too. You don't want to interrupt those processes we have to that we maintain. That's part of our that's part of our brand. We maintain that value, we maintain balance. We can't, and we've seen it with other companies across the board. Some people, for brands that used to be rock solid, and then they get their part in from a transfer, and you can see what they've done to save time. Just to go look at that floor, and there's some rifles where some companies literally just eliminate a top rail because, you don't need it, it's lighter. Well, no, if you take away a top rail, you don't have to machine it. If you only M-lock half the rail, that's saving time on machine time. Yep. So they're doing what they got to do. I don't like it, because in my head, you're just like, you're marketing something because solely for the purpose.
They are solely looking at the bottom line.
Yeah, they're looking at the bottom line, and they're marketing something. They're saying new lighter weight. No, you're just not being honest. You're saying you're cutting like that to save time. And for us, we're not going to fasten the build time. Now, there are things we're doing currently with bringing in consulting help when it comes to analytics, and to see what we can do to increase production time without sacrificing. And there's things we found out, which is amazing. So it's new SOPs we've been implementing for this whole year, and that takes time to develop.
And these are all things that people don't know.
You don't know. People don't know. Like, so we had this program where literally all our gun builders were logging in their time of how long a process takes. So it's like prep grip for stippling, that gets logged in. Stippling time for grip, that gets logged in. Tool mark removal for one slide per serial number, that gets logged in. So they're all doing this, and everybody's just like freaking out, like, why are we putting our times? Like, it's like it was at Office Space. So what exactly you do here? So, but people know as you have to do that for a while. You can't just do it for a weekend. But the interesting in that, we got averages. That's amazing. Then we got costs. That's amazing. And then it allows us to sit there and really evaluate what the time is, other than I can build a rifle in this time. Okay, cool. I'm sure we went off that. Like, we went off individuals where it's just kind of an estimated time frame. But when you go through each individual process, we can go sit there and say, well, how do we make this process faster? And so now we're creating sub-assemblies to make this process faster for the builders, and other individuals are helping with that. So that's why we do this kind of stuff, because it's part of challenges of growing, and we're adapting. We're not just sitting there.
People just forget that, man. Yeah. But I mean, we are a culture of we want it now and we want it this way type thing.
It's interesting because I was having this conversation with an individual at Shot, and how nobody wants to come up. Like, a lot of people don't want to sit there and buy their time to come up and do the hard work, just like anybody new person in the team, right? You're the lowest man on totem pole. Guess what? You got to come up. You got to earn your spot to get higher up. A lot of companies the same way.
That's why dude, I hate people that promote so early.
Yeah.
People that are promoting, sub 2 years. You don't even know how to be a cop.
Yeah.
You won't even begin to know how to be a cop after 5 years.
Yeah.
But yet I want to be a chief. I want to promote right now. Well, why? Do your time.
Yeah.
Do the streets.
Yep.
Answer the calls for service. Take the stupid accident report. People don't want to do that. My generation does not want to do that.
Yeah.
They look at the easy way. They would look for the cop-out way because they think, well, I need to hand it to me.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting because even, how I look at everything in the company, I can do almost everything every process in that company myself. I can build a rifle. I can prep a rifle. I can prep parts. I can build a pistol. I can stipple. I can coat. I can Cerakote. I know how to do everything. The only thing I'm terrible at is running the damn laser machine. I'm not allowed to touch it. And then when I ask, like, what are you doing? I'm like, just set it up for me, bro. So
I just want to play with the laser.
Well, just set it up, and then I'll help with the laser and stuff. But I'm not a website savvy guy. But when it comes to everything, I know how to do everything in there because I came up learning that stuff. And some of the individual employees that we have, thank God, they're like that. We've had individuals that literally just started doing tool mark removal only, and now they're building guns. Awesome. They didn't complain. They wanted the challenge. They asked for the challenge. I'm like, all right, well, here we go. You're still going to do what you're going to do now, and we'll slowly implement you into something else. That's what John started off with rifles, did a really good job, and now he's full-time, 2011 gunsmith, and he's still learning. So he's knocking them out,
Buying uniforms to work on guns. I cracked up when I walked in there the other day and I saw that. He's not here. Okay, so let's go into this in closing. What do you want to see from pushing the line? Because I haven't even asked you this question. I mean, we've talked about it, right? Talked about a few guests, but like, what would be your goal for 2022 for pushing the line, the podcast series?
Let's see, our goal.
Besides traveling,
yes, get away. Besides traveling, but I think doing a little bit more of a deeper dive into roles and jobs, right? Because we kind of overglimpse it, and people don't really know the struggles and challenges of that. We bring individuals, they tell a story, and they do what they do, but I don't think people like some of their more experiences of how they've got to each level, right? Because what I'm learning now is that every time the company goes to the next level, it presents its own set of challenges. And some of these things I rely on mentors to teach me. Some of them I've adapt to and then have to go back because it didn't work to. So you take you do some chances. You try to make your best educated guess. So for me, now I've learned a lot. This time we're in a transition where we're growing and we are nipping these challenges in the bud a lot faster now. And I think with everybody who kind of goes through that, just like I said, how people come up, I think talking to people how they first start in their journey.
What's awesome is, to me, we look at a lot of times where people are, we don't know where they've come from, and the true lessons of where they've come from, right? Because you can look at some of the richest dudes in the world, okay, and I can learn from them right now, right, like in the moment by watching them, but I think I would have learned more by watching them come up, like you're saying, and where they've come from and how they've gotten to where they are. Yeah. Because that's where the struggles are, right? Yeah. Like, you have struggles every day, but what struggles have you come from? Because obviously you're still here, so you've overcome those somehow, right? Yeah,
but also getting the detail of the hard parts. That's what people really. You only get a glimpse of the good, but man, when the times get tough, you can sit there and say, "Man, dude, it was a really rough year, but we got through it." But man, how rough was it? Like, how close was it? And then what your psyche is at that point in time, because people can get all amped up and say, "I'm gonna go run 5 miles," and you get to mile 2 and you're dying. Well, yeah, you're all motivated.
Or mile 1. I mean, or half a mile. I'm at 250 meters.
But overcoming the suck, right? Overcoming those hard times, it's real. I mean, it's like, what's that little saying? Everybody wants to, do this until it's time to do that. It's like everybody wants to be a cop until it's time to do cop shit. Yeah. Right.
Everybody thinks it's the gun and the badge. Trust me. That's the easiest part. The easiest part is putting that gun on, the badge on. Yeah. And that goes for so many different things, because then it's all of a sudden when you're getting spit at, when you're exhausted, you're on your 20th hour, and you're holding the dead baby and you're having to do so much. People want the easy things, but they don't want the heavy things that they weigh on you every single day. And that's not just cop work. Yeah. That's just, making guns, running a business. Yep. Everybody just wants the end, the money. They don't want the work that's got to come with it.
They want to just jump in and start learning how to build right out the bat. And it's like there's a process to this. And if you can't pay enough focus or do the small things right, what makes you think you do the big things right? Not to mention the years you have behind troubleshooting stuff. Yeah. But I think talking to individuals, obviously new team members brought to the company, is I think getting down to the whole thing of like, everything's good, but I want to know every significant step in their life, how they overcome that, or what challenges it presented. Because if nobody wants to take the time to come up, well, I think people should hear others people's experience coming up and see what it's like, because man, it ain't easy, bro.
Yeah. No, everybody's got to go get the coffee, that bullshit, and And yeah, it sucks in the moment.
Yeah.
It sucks being a rookie, a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But you know what? I wouldn't trade a lot of those experiences.
Oh,
In the moment, fucking hated them.
Yeah.
There's so many senior officers that I just wanted to punch in the throat. But now I look back and I was like, you know what? Like, and then you find yourself doing the same things you were doing to the guys coming up. You're like, okay, all right, I can see why.
Some of it is positive, and some of it is
completely negative. Completely negative. But you know what? Like, and I think as a country, right, as a community and a culture and a country, I mean, there was good things about being hazed. I mean, I'm talking about the hazing, right?
Yeah.
Good things about the hardships of coming up and the hazing aspect of it is like, you learn if you weren't being hazed, if you weren't being the one that was like being pushed, then you were hated.
Yeah.
And the second you started not having that, you knew nobody liked you. And so it's good that you get ragged on and you go through those experiences, whatever that is. Yeah. I can relate it a lot to cop work because that's all I know.
Yeah. And people don't realize that once you get to that different level, and when you first started, you might have thought it sucked and it was like so much work. But when you get to another level, man, I miss those days where I could just have like a bin in front of me, and that's all I had to do was like build a gun.
Where I could go home and not have a caseload and not think about tomorrow. Yeah. I hate it. To be honest, I hated patrol. Yeah. I wanted to get off patrol as fast as possible, get into a street crimes unit, go do something. Yeah. But, I look back and there's times of like, okay, yeah, there were some good times because, parking door to door with the dude at 2 a.m. and being able to take a nap. That ain't happening nowadays. That didn't happen. But I'm just saying, there were good times of like looking back at that and going, you know what, those times you look back on and you cherish and that goes for anything, right?
Yeah. It's like the grass is greener because we're assuming they're not doing the same thing as us. We're assuming that whatever they're doing is not going to suck this bad. And just like I just remember being, a private and hating life. And you get put on every detail. People talk shit to you all the time. You get hazed. But as you stick with it, and then as you got to that whole part with the leadership and the amount of responsibility you have and how you're responsible for everybody else doing dumb shit, it comes into play. So
at that point, like it used to be just you were the liability, right? Yeah. To worry about myself, I'm the liability. Now you've got a team to worry about. You've got people with you that you're a liability, and the more you do, the more liable it becomes, and shit rolls downhill.
Yeah, it does. Significantly. But it's just, man, if I just go to the shop and then someone just says, "Here's 3 bins. That's all you got to do today," and nobody bothers me, man, I'd be happy, man, because I'm not gonna like just wake up or get that whole thing and it's not a matter of like. It's crazy because it's not like crazy stress that keeps you awake. It's more of like analytics and trying to find like ideas. Just like, oh man, this would be a great idea. And then you kind of go down the rabbit path, and then you might want to make it fruition or not. But I can't turn my brain off because even the creativity side, I can't turn it off. I'm like, man, it'd be cool if Brad and I like
did a bolt gun
and hung out. We went shooting,
getting shotguns. Shoot shit.
But it'd be cool. Brad and I went to
Wheel
SHOT
guns.
Show together. And
it was. It would have been cool, Mister. I'm showing up to see you on a Monday. I'm going to SHOT Show. Well, I thought you said you weren't going.
I wasn't, man. But
Anyways,
it is, man.
No, dude. I think I got to say something on that note too. Of like the company. There's companies that still, and I think it's Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, if you want to own a Chick-fil-A, you've got to work every aspect of the shop. Like
that's awesome.
From the line cook to the register. Like even if you have the millions of dollars to invest right then and there, you ain't able to do it until you've done time. Yeah. And there's something to that, and it makes you see. And you look at companies like that, and clearly there's success in that, right? Because at any point in time, you can go, I do know what you're going through. Yeah. I've been there. It's the same thing like when I was talking about a rookie cop, cop being a sergeant. At 2 years, you haven't seen it. You're going to have a senior guy coming to you going, okay, I need to know what to do on this rape exam. Yeah. Well, I never took that report. How are you going to instruct and tell them to lead? And that's why I differentiate between a leader and a manager. Yeah. Because the manager goes, okay, line 2, all right, this is what you will do. Yeah. Okay, well, it doesn't work that way.
Yep. And another thing, too, is just going through all the processes of my company and learning everything on that side of the house. It's just like when I see Chris, just like, cranking out Cerakote and all the stuff he's doing, I know how hard that is. So I know when I need to make him like go home and take a day off because he won't, or go home early because he won't.
Or he'll say something like,
Yeah.
"You see this little blurred edge here?" I'm like, "No, I don't see that. It looks
Yeah.
perfect."
Well, that's
bro.
me
Like,
because I tell him, I'm like, you see this? Do it over there. No.
he was pointing out something on his phone. He's talking about another company's Cerakote job. He's like, "It was dog shit." And I saw it. You see this? I'm like, "Yeah, I totally see it. I did not see what you're saying, but that's good because you've built that into them now, where they're able to see like there is a level of success in your work and your heart and your workmanship that you expect, and that's spilling over into individuals."
Yeah, it has to, because even with Chris too, we sent him photos of other companies' haircut. I'm like, man, can you be this good? You know, just you know, but he knows it's a joke. But that's the whole thing. Is like, I know when I'm like, hey, go. I'm like, there's times where I'm like, shut it down.
Yeah,
like, turn it off, man. Come tomorrow.
I'm pretty sure I've said that to you a few times.
Yeah, well, you don't. Nobody can tell me nothing.
Yeah.
You know? I'm gonna nod my head. Say
People
yes.
don't understand. I mean, like literally, we've had multiple conversations where I'm like, bro, you need to pump the fucking brakes.
Yeah.
And you still don't pump the brakes. And one day I'm just gonna pump your fucking brakes for you, because like, dude, it's like you'll see, like and I'm like, dude, bro, fucking just stop.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny. Just like I said, like first thing I went out in here, man, I feel great. I actually got 7 hours sleep uninterrupted.
He's never said that.
I'm like, this is like, I feel good. So I appreciate it. I'm enjoying this day. So I think, obviously, maybe for 2022, more changes for myself on that side of the house, because, yeah, you're right. You can't run like this forever, but at the same time, like, there's so much cool stuff to think about.
Yeah, because at the same time, you can't live in those moments forever. Those moments only last for a short amount of moments.
True.
T-shirt. Speaking of more swag for Triarc, any shirts coming? I mean, we got to get some new shirts out there. Come on. I was hoping for like a long sleeve, a hoodie or something.
Yeah, long sleeve. You know, we'll probably come out with it in the summer when nobody needs it. Because, you know, the swag stuff, it's like we need to do it, but so many stuff keeps present. So
we're dropping a shirt on Sunday. So
nice.
Go buy it. It'll help us travel. We would like to travel this year.
Yeah, let's travel.
So I mean, we need to get down to Florida.
Yeah, I was just talking to Christian about that too. So
cool.
I've said him get a place set up. He's starting some really nice stuff down there. So it'd be good to talk about it, and just a couple other places. Other people have in mind. We'll talk off.
Really need to get down to Florida. Our goal is to go down there to go see Tradecraft. Go see Tradecraft.
Oh yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Huh? Yeah, the Patriot Games.
They're doing awesome stuff out there.
So our goal is to go down there, do some stuff. Trying to get a tour set up with B&T and some other people down there. So we'll keep y'all posted. Our goal is to get out there. But yeah, especially Christian. Like, I really want to sit down with him. I think that'd be a really good episode. Yeah,
and also too, this SHOT Show, I got to meet a lot of new people, awesome people. It's just, this was like the SHOT Show of like randomness. It was kind of cool because like you randomly ran into people that you've been trying to meet, or you randomly run into people who you've already been working with, and you get to catch up. So that was kind of the great thing about it. Yeah, that's cool.
All right. Well, in closing, do you have anything in closing?
No, I'm just obviously, one thing I'm closing is, we're just grateful for being able to sponsor. We're also grateful for our customers and also people that support the company. And all you can expect for us from 2022 is more hard work. And I'm grateful for the team too, who keep working hard. It's, except we're in another phase of growth, and I'm excited for it. And
it's gonna be a big year.
I'm pumped, bro. I'm pumped. And we're going to change some things up, too, because we're always kind of watching, see how everything else is changing. But we're really going to focus on getting out these new products and bringing it out to market.
Yeah, I'm excited about it all. It's going to be a good year. I think it'll be a good year for everybody. I think everybody that's involved, everybody right now in the growth is just going to be a good year for everybody. All right, so in closing, we've got the shirts coming up. Stay tuned for more Pushing the Line. I'm going to put something out for both of us. Send us your request of what you want to hear more from us for the episode. I will say this. Yes, we go gun heavy and we're talking about this, but if you wanted to hear something else about, like, go back to some of the other episodes we've done with, like, Jonas and Brittany, and look at the more in-depth stuff of what we're trying to cover here and what y'all want to hear for 2022, hit us up. Hit me or Chris up. You can see our pages, Triarc Systems, and our by the way, there's a fake Triarc Systems page.
Yeah.
Okay, so go report it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've reported it so many times, and they're not going to do anything about it.
Dude, I didn't even recognize it till just the other day.
They put an underscore right after the name.
Yes. Yeah.
And so here's the
and
crazy
I sent them a
thing.
message. They were like, "Man, we love it." And I was like, "Who the fuck? Nobody talks to me like this at Triarc."
Yeah.
And then I was like, "This isn't Katir. This isn't you."
No. And that's the thing too, is just like, one thing about that is that so many people and people we work with, just even like TTPOA, they don't know, and because we're a shadow band, they're not.
Yeah.
So as you start Triarc Systems, it already comes up.
Yep.
First, a lot of times people have to completely spell it out, and so they're like, "Hey, did you get the tag?" I'm like, "Dude, I didn't even see anything." And then I go back and look at it. I'm like, there they are.
Yeah.
Gunking up the works.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, come on, man. If they said that, hey, like, this is like a whatever
fan page,
not even a fan page, but just like posting around stuff, they just steal our images.
Yeah,
keep
dude,
posting.
it's
I'm like, dude, come on, man.
it's the worst.
Really, dude? Like,
It's
really?
the worst. And the fact is, it took me 2 years to realize it. I didn't even know it was out there.
My only concern if they're doing, if they're responding to customer service DM, that's my big concern. But I have no way knowing. I have no way because I report it and they don't do anything about it.
We need a black hack. We need a black hacker.
Hacker. We need hacker.
We need a hacker.
Hacker man.
We did.
Yeah.
Or y'all did.
Yeah, but we're just going to have to keep doing it on rotation.
We just need, So, anyways, hit us up on the correct pages. Let us know what you want in store in 2022. We'll be doing these regularly, but please hit them up. Make sure you check out our page, The Uncommon Line Podcast.com is our website, The Uncommon Line Podcast at Instagram, TriarcSystems.com, Triarc Systems at
on Instagram.
On
and
Instagram.
then also hit the link tree.
Yeah, the link tree
on our profile, because that's where we link you to the YouTube and other products we have.
I need to do the link tree, which everybody keeps telling me about, but I'm a dumbass and I don't know how to do my job.
Get on the link.
So make sure you check us out. The shirt drops 6 p.m. on Sunday, the 31st. It'll only be available for a short time, and that's the last time that we're doing anything with the OG. We were just requested about it, and so we're going to put it out there for just a second and then take it back. We've got some other stuff. We've got the American Traditional Tattoo shirt coming out, which we'll drop later on, and some other stuff. And none of that is really making any money because we're broke as fuck. What this is allowing us to be able to do more for y'all. So please help us support and help us do more. So, Chris, thank you so much for coming on after SHOT Show.
Dude, thanks for having me. Man, I'm like motivated as shit, dude. I'm just fucking motivated.
We need to give them 3 bins.
Yeah.
We need to go give them 3 bins.
Give me 3 bins so I can knock them out, man. I'm ready to go. And honestly, that's like my happy place. So,
That's awesome. All right, guys. Remember, stay safe, stay switched on, and stay uncommon.